Article groups are simple groups for the allocation to substances, which can then be used in various output programs for selection and partly also for sorting. In the SDS, phrases can be filled in and marked, and the selection of the phrases can be controlled with them. In addition, the article group descriptions can be output language specifically on the labels. Go into any raw material or preparation. Article groups in the simplest form consist only of a 4-character identifier. A description and thus a creation of the article groups is not necessary. So we enter our code, press enter, and an article group is assigned to the substance. If there was already a description, then this would be output, but even otherwise the program does not mind if there is no further information. If you now go to the overview, then already existing article groups are shown. If you click on an existing article group, it will be selected. If you click on the top line, you can predefine a new article group. You can access the maintenance of existing article groups by hovering the mouse over an article group and pressing Ctrl-Enter, or by right-clicking on the respective line. In the simplest form, both generic, language-independent descriptions can be used as descriptions, but translations for text of nearly unlimited size for then output in labels or SDSs can be used as well. The first line always contains the language-independent description, which is always used if no translation is available. The short descriptions are used for all overviews. Most users will be satisfied with this and will not need any translations. The label texts are intended for filling in different areas of a label automatically depending on the article group. For example, instructions for use in a specific environment, special instructions for storage in the second, and disposal instructions in the third area. There are 2 completely different functions in the safety data sheet, which can also be used concurrently. If you want to use the article group as selection criterion, click into the conditions, go to the article groups and select one or more of them. Of course, you can use the usual overview screens. If the substance whose SDS you want to generate also has one of the defined article groups entered, then the phrase is selected and output on the SDS. If the article group itself is to be output as part of the phrase, then write the word AGR in curly brackets at the position in your phrase where you want the text to appear. This placeholder is then replaced with the description of the article group. If there is no description, then the abbreviation of the article group is given. If the letters AGR are followed by a number between 1 and 3, the defined label phrase will be output. If there is no text in the SDS language available, then the generic text will be used. If this generic text is also not available, then the SDS will be recognized as incomplete and cannot be printed. In the input mode, this is shown as a red $sign, while a replaced text is blue. Of course, this color coding is not visible when printing. The allocation of article group descriptions in the labels is not difficult as long as you basically know how to create a label template. The goal is to have the program fill in the labels automatically, so you have to tell the program how to do that. When you are in the maintenance of the label templates and there in the graphical label design, simply create an additional text. Define the size of the text and the needed area for it. Then double-click on this field. In the new window that appears, define whether this additional field should be filled with the standard description of the article group or with one of the long texts. By default, this field will then be filled in the first language set for this label template, but you can also choose the language yourself.